Hey guys, Pastor Mark here. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about the biggest day of your life. No day in your life will have a bigger impact on you this day. This day will impact you your whole life. I wonder if you have any guesses what day I'm talking about. I'll give you two hints. Number one, this day has already happened to you. Number two, you probably don't even remember this day and when it happened to you. Any more guesses what I'm talking about? Guys, I'm talking about the day that you were born, the day of your birth. No day had a bigger impact on you because when you were born, all kinds of stuff happened to you that was going to affect you and impact you the rest of your life, right? Just think about it, right? When you were born into your family, right? And you could have been born into any family in the world, but you were born into your family with your parents, with your siblings, and whoever else is in your family. As well, when you were born, you were given a personal name that you were going to be called for the rest of your life. And that name's going to become a part of your identity and who you are. And when you're born, you probably also got a family name too. And those names often have a lot of meaning associated with them. Sometimes they mean that we're parts of certain classes or castes or clans or different backgrounds. And that's going to impact us the rest of our lives. As well, when we're born with different kinds of opportunities. And those opportunities will also impact our life. Maybe we have the opportunity to go to school. Maybe we have the opportunity to play sports. Whatever the opportunity is, we were born into the opportunity to do those things. As well, when we were also born into a country, right? Whatever country you were born in, when you were born there, you became a citizen of that country, which means that when you get older, you can live there, you can work there, you can even vote there when they have an election, just because you were born there. So do you see how our birth, when we were born, had such a huge impact on us, and it set up all these parts of our lives that were going to affect us the rest of our life? But not everybody has the same birth. See, all of us, when we're born, we're all born with the same value and the same worth. You, me, your teacher, the person sitting next to you, all of us are born with the same value, the same worth. But not all of us are born into the same situations, right? For example, just think about it this way. Some people are born into a family who loves them very much, who takes care of them. Other people, though, they're born into a family who doesn't take very good care of them. Sometimes they're born to a family who leave them. Some people are born into a name, they have a family name, or they're given a name that has a lot of respect or honor attached to it. Or maybe it signals that they're part of a high class or high caste. Other people, though, are born with a name that sometimes people don't respect. Or maybe it's a name that signals you're part of a low caste or a low class or from a clan that people don't look up to. People are also born into different opportunities. Some people are born with the opportunity, born with lots of money, they can go to school, they can play sports, they can do whatever they want. Other people and they go on great vacations. Some people are born, though, into opportunities where they don't even get to eat every day. See, all of us are born with equal worth, but not all of us are born into equal situations. And there's a lot of people, and maybe even some of you, who look back at when they were born and they wish they had a better birth, that they were born into a more loving family, or with a better name, or born into a higher caste, or in a different country. And to those who feel that way, and they feel like they can't do anything about it, Jesus comes in our reading and he says something amazing. He says, you have the opportunity to be born a second time, to have a new birth. And when Jesus said it to the guy in the reading, he got really confused. He's like, wait, what am I, I'm way too big to go back in my mother and come out of her again. That is not going to work, Jesus. That is weird, man. Jesus says, no, dude, that's not what I'm talking about. He says, I'm talking about a spiritual birth, a new birth from the Spirit. And he says, and it's just like when you were born, Remember the first time you were born into your family and you were given a name, and maybe you were in a certain caste or class, depending on what your culture is. And you were born with different opportunities, and you were born in a certain country. Jesus says, when you're born again, you're born into a better family. You're born into God's family. You're born into the highest class or the highest caste because you belong to God. You're born into a new country, you're a citizen of heaven is what the Bible often talks about. And the Bible even says that those who believe in Jesus and who hang on to the end will be given a new name, a better name, a name filled with honor and respect. And Jesus says you can have that new birth. If your first birth wasn't very good and that's been impacting you in negative ways, Jesus says you can have a new birth. And if you want to know how you can get that birth, I'll tell you in just a second. But first I need to say one other thing. Because you see, Jesus also addresses people who had really good births, who were born into a really good family, with a really honorable and respectful name, born into the high caste and high class, with high opportunities, and in a really good country. See, those people need to be very careful, because sometimes they can think that birth was good enough and that they're better than other people, they're worth more than other people because of that. But what Jesus says, he says in verse 3, he says, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you are born again, you will never see the kingdom of heaven. Basically, he's saying as good as your first birth might have been, with the best family, with the best name and the highest caste, he says, that is not good enough for my kingdom. If you're going to come in my kingdom, you're going to need to come from a better family, to have a more honorable name, to come from a higher caste. You're going to have to be a citizen of a better country. That's the only way you can get into my kingdom. And the way you get those things is to be born again into those things. And he offers you that birth as well. Whether we had a really good birth or a really birth that set us up with a lot of trials in our life, Jesus offers to all of us a new birth and a better birth into better opportunities. And I told you that I would tell you how you can have this new birth. John chapter 1, which is 2 chapters before what we read here, says that God, to everyone who believes in Jesus, God gives them the power to become children of God. That means to have the new birth. To everyone who believes in Jesus, that means everyone who trusts Jesus, who believes Jesus is who he says he is, will do what he says he will do. Everyone who believes and trusts that has the new birth. And Jesus says one other thing too. In verse 5 of our reading, he says, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you are born of water and the Spirit, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. You might wonder what he's talking about there. But see what he's talking about when he says water and Spirit, unless you're born of water and Spirit, he's talking about what Christians call baptism. Because there we have the water, right? Either it's poured on someone's head or somebody's dunked into the water and the Spirit comes down on them. And a lot of people, that's how they have the new birth, how they're born into God's family with a new and better name and new opportunities, how they become a citizen of heaven. So guys, whether you were born into a really good situation or a really hard situation, there is a new birth for you through believing in Jesus. And if you want to know more about believing in Jesus or what it means to be baptized, you can talk to your teachers or other people at the school. Maybe you have a Christian friend, or you can also ask your teacher. They have my email address, and you can ask me, and I would love to talk to you guys about that. So God bless you guys, and have a great rest of your week.